did.
The movie opens up by showing us a conference. Dr. Will Castor is a scientist who researches the nature of sentience, including artificial intelligence. He and his team work to create a sentient computer. He predicts that such a computer will create a technological singularity, or in his words, transcendence. His wife, Evelyn, is also a scientist and helps him with his work. So the two of them were dealing with this task cooperatively. Welcome to the review recapped. Subscribe for a bit of good luck and enjoy. Another researcher is shown who had visited a wrecked house. Everything was in disarray with breakage inside this. Regardless of such climate, he had witnessed a few sunflowers there. They were however new as they may be as yet established in any nursery. He turns out to be so stunned, seeing this. The scene drops and another workshop is shown. Will was making sense of that no human has utilized the human cerebrum 100% till now. He needed to make such a PC which might utilize 100% of the human cerebrum. He says this innovation will be the God made by humans. He had befouled, contrasting his innovation and God. Such countless associations had betrayed him. They had begun to watch out for Will despite the fact that they had gone after him immediately. They were going about as such because they had dread. Nothing will stay alive in the climate since this innovation will supplant the God. All that will be heavily influenced by innovation. On the off chance that it works out, a hold will be in the hands of computerized reasoning organizations, which could demonstrate so undermining. Will had got the slight gunfire, so he had recuperated once more. Then FBI specialist comes into Will's counterfeit office. He really needed to keep secure all innovation of Will's organization. If there should be an occurrence of any assault on his organization, then his innovation might keep going. He shows his undertaking after turning it on, as his task is initiated. Then that PC uncovers the data about those both FBI specialists within a couple of moments. Seeing this, those FBI specialists had additionally intrigued excessively. Following one of Will's presentations, an anti-technology terrorist group called Revolutionary Independence from Technology, RIFT, shoots Will with a polonium-laced bullet and carries out a series of synchronized attacks on AI laboratories across the country. Will is given no more than a month to live. Evelyn had got stressed, hearing this over and over. She needed to keep her significant other with him somehow or another. For this, she hits upon an arrangement. She goes to Max and tells him that. For what reason do we not add the qualities of Will's mind to our task? Its advantage could be this: there will just be Will's body which will be dead in the afterlife. His cerebrum will be saved in the man-made brainpower innovation. It implies that his mind will be alive until the end of time. Max did not concur with this. Evelyn makes sense of for him about her thought completely, which had likewise been loved by Will with him. What's more, Will had likewise recommended Max to help out Evelyn, since Will planned to bite the dust. On the off chance that the main successor task might tumble, despite this, he needs to pass on. In the event that their undertaking might get achievement, then, at that point, the arrangement will be set. Evelyn and Max start to deal with this task later. 1 month had passed while chipping away at this venture by them. Will was likewise kicked the bucket. Evelyn was so sad at his passing. In any case, she was hopeful that she might get Will through her innovation. At the point when she begins her venture in the wake of getting back to her home, she was not getting the skills to make progress in her task. Being depleted and miserable, she had to switch off her entire undertaking framework. Then, at that point, a few messages had shown on the screen where it was expressed that, "I am Will." She asks that framework, "Right, Will?" Then, at that point, a sound reverberated in her framework. That voice had a place with Will. Be that as it may, the voice quality was so poor, so they did not understand what is Will saying. In the interim, it is seen that Will had begun to hold command over the framework himself. Evelyn needed to close this framework down briefly right away, so she might save it from the public authority. However, she was all the while closing down the framework. Then Will asks her for web access so he might get more power. As Evelyn planned to give him the web access, then Max stopped her. They had dread as their framework may have been hacked. He isn't Will who is showing up on the web. However, Evelyn was not being concurred with him. She sends him from that point while admonishing and gives web admittance to Will. A young lady is shown who is an individual from a similar association, who had gone after Will previously. She needed to ruin the PIN project before its creation. Yet, She had additionally come to know now that Evelyn had finished this undertaking. They come to assault Evelyn. As Evelyn is familiar with this, then she moves the entire information to Will, harming her PC. Where Will had achieved all the PC information. Utilizing his processor, he gathers all the information about R.I.F.D. associations. Also, he moves it into FBI PC. FBI specialists were stunned, seeing that obscure innovation was helping them. Subsequently, it is seen that FBI specialists seen previously, that they had captured R.I.F.D. individuals through PC information. After this, Will contacts with Evelyn. He educates her, go to a town. Since you are not saved here, you will go there. After this, the scene drops. After 2 years, Evelyn has assembled her exploration association. What's more, Will has become so strong in her innovation that he can likewise fix the human cells. It showed that he could recuperate a cut-off physical issue while mending the cells. Will has likewise another capacity that he can guess the thoughts of others while associating with their brains. The most astounding reality was this: he had some control over others' feelings. Evelyn knew pretty much every one of the powers of Will here. Presently she had likewise begun to feel little apprehension. This innovation may not be destructive for the climate and the world. A man is brought to Will as he harms. Where that man had been recuperated through his mechanical hands and innovation. At the point when Evelyn witnesses that man, on the following day she is left stunned, since that man was recuperated as well as Will has joined that man with him. That's what it intends. Will could likewise speak with Evelyn through that man. It is shown that there is a viral video on the web. It was a similar video, in which Will had relieved that injured man. Watching that video, many individuals were coming to recuperate themselves from the distant regions. It is seen that FBI specialists and other powers had additionally joined to boycott this innovation. Where they needed to come to Evelyn's lab before indulging in this innovation. They could enter through the front entryway, so they assembled an underground passage to enter the lab. On the opposite side, Evelyn had ended up being so stressed, knowing this. Presently she was additionally feeling lament as she isn't violating at some spot. Seeing her, Will tells her the state of her chemical. She had likewise become so shocked, knowing it, as Will has the ability to recognize numerous things. Being befuddled, she emerges from the research facility where Will comes to her in the type of another man. There starts the bomb impacting before he begins conversing with her. Where FBI specialists and Max likewise come on the scene with the Lift Association individuals. They conclude here that they will make an infection first. They will end Will through this. Along these lines, that innovation which they had named PIN, will likewise be finished. Max and others were saying to Evelyn to go with them. However, Will catches Evelyn with another man. Meanwhile, Evelyn's research facility laborers additionally emerge. They had started to monitor Evelyn, showing up there. Since Will had made an association with their bodies. Truth be told, it was Will who was doing this. Max had distinguished the entire circumstance, seeing this. So he ends the existence of a laborer. Presently all individuals were so shocked and stressed, seeing this, that man himself had recuperated soon. Seeing this, worst case scenario was concerned, and he moved once again into a similar underground passage, from where he had shown up previously. Evelyn goes into her loft, leaving everything. While Will pursues them in that passage through the control of the laborer. The remainder of the FBI specialists who were getting away from by a vehicle, lab laborers were pursuing them. The small being seen that, Will had made them so strong that they were running quicker than a vehicle. Also, all laborers take the lives of the relative multitude of individuals who rode in that vehicle. Oppositely, that man was being seen with whom the body Will was connected. What's more, they had secured him in a copper wall shrewdly. So this man is disengaged Will through this wall. It was being seen that FBI and R.I.F.D. individuals had captured Evelyn, breaking the connection. While Will had ingested the contamination of the entire world, utilizing the particles, the air and water. Because of this, all sicknesses had begun to be eliminated on the planet. They all are astonished by this. Presently Max tells Evelyn that, on the off chance that it went on thusly and we began to falsely control the climate, then nothing will be alive in this world. Evelyn had additionally prepared to help them with this. Presently she shares with them, the infection made by you. I infuse your made infection in my body. As Will be associated with me. Then my infection will be moved into his body. Along these lines, will be finished until the end of time. Evelyn was likewise telling this as the deficiency of this work will be as. The entire world's web will be annihilated because he approaches the world's web. Evelyn had infused herself and she was continuing her lab. While Lift Association and FBI individuals had watched out for her. Evelyn is out of her association where she had left stunned, seeing this. That Will had re-established his body. Presently he was coming to her in human structure. Evelyn, however, all current individuals there had stunned. She embraces Will rapidly, however her main goal comes into her brain. She needed to keep everything mysterious from Will and needed to end his life. So she imagines appropriate conduct. Previously Will. Presently Will says to Evelyn that you are undependable here. You ought to move to somewhere else from here. Evelyn answers on this, to save me. So interface me with your innovation like you. FBI specialists who were hanging tight for this, sitting far. That will convey Evelyn inside and interface his memory with the innovation. At the point when they don't notice, doing so then, at that point, they think as their arrangement is slumping. Presently they choose to end Will everlastingly. However, one of the FBI specialists denies them here. However, RIFT individuals detonate that spot. Evelyn had gone vexed, seeing this. She says to Will, interface me with innovation. Be that as it may, Will had perused out her viewpoints now. Also, he denies her of doing it, which Evelyn was requesting that he do. At the primary site, another blast had happened and Evelyn was seriously injured in this. Also, Will had moved inside while getting her. Also, he starts to go after the individuals from the FBI and RIFT, associating with the introduced individuals there. Presently he was treating Evelyn, assuming that he infused infection in himself. Then, at that point, he stayed unfit to safeguard Evelyn, on the off chance that he had not infused infection in himself. Then Max could pass on. Evelyn makes sense of Will here. Everything has happened as a result of us. Max ought not be rebuffed on this. Hearing this, Will had infused infection in himself. Also, he interfaces his mind with Evelyn while biting the dust. Also, he shows her, how was he attempting to satisfy his significant other's fantasy? He was transforming this world into a better spot. Similarly as Evelyn wished, Evelyn had additionally referred to reality as she was suspecting as everything was turning out badly. It isn't all things considered. Rather, all were going on flawlessly. Yet, nothing can happen now since Will has infused infection in himself. Furthermore, the association with everything individuals is cut with Will as infection is infused. With whom Will had associated himself. Will bites the dust and the innovation of the entire world is impeded for a couple of moments. The movie ends with the monologue, he created this garden for the same reason he did everything. So they could be together. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.